ASMR 2.0. We are playing 15 plus 10 rapid on chess.com, but we are using the ChessUp board. And I have the white pieces. I open up pawn to d4. They play knight f6, and we will play pawn to c4. When this video goes public, there will be 29 hours left of the Kickstarter for this board. Currently, there are only 3 of these out in the wild. This is one of them. But they want to make thousands of them, and that's why they have the Kickstarter. And if you like what you see here in this video, you can get this chessboard. You can pledge on Kickstarter, pre-order it, and that will save you $100 to get this amazing board. And if you watch this video a little late, because the Kickstarter does end in 29 hours, if you watch this a little late, they will have moved to Indiegogo, where I believe you can still pre-order and then save $50, which is also significant. H4, the ASMR special treatment, my little pet system here. Okay, they do play h6. I actually had this position rather recently, and I played g4 just to have a good time, and I actually think this is a decent move in the position. If you watch this video way in the future and you still want the board, I am going to negotiate the best deal I can with the ChessUp people, so you can still save some money by using the link in the description. Also, you're also doing me a favor if you use that link in the description, because it supports this channel. So I think it's time to concentrate a little on this game, and you can just start relaxing. So this is a rapid game, meaning we have actually quite a lot of time. We get 10 seconds for each move added. We are playing on chess.com. We are playing against somebody called Prusax32. They have a rating of 1751, so they should be a very worthy opponent. And I very much like my position, and I really want to play pawn to f4 here, because that would just be kind of super funny, and maybe it's even a good move. And I think I'm going to play that move basically no matter what, because like, look at all those pawns. That would be connect 6. That would be crazy. I've never done that before. And I think it actually may also just be a pretty good move, because I can then respond to pawn to d5 with pawn to f5 with an attack. So we are going for this super unorthodox opening. Look at that. That is hilarious. 6 pawns. So if we were playing connect 6, we would have already won. That's just... I never did this before. And I have played this particular opening with the King's Indian, where I play h4 for years and years and years. Just a little system I came up with, and it's a lot of fun. But this is extra fun. This is amazing. So what are they really playing here? What would you play here? So one of the critical moves is pawn to e5 in the normal King's Indian, but this is of course anything but a normal King's Indian. Also pawn to c5 is one of the critical ideas, but let's say they play pawn to c5. First of all, I could ignore that if I really wanted, because I do have two pieces protecting my d4 pawn. They do that. Okay, so let's analyze this a bit further. I do have two pieces protecting here. It's attacked twice. And maybe I don't really want to push this pawn forward. Maybe that's not exactly what I want. Because then this bishop becomes very, very strong, and they get some pretty nice counterplay on the dark squares. I could develop my knight to f3 here, as you can see, and that would be protecting the pawn. One more time, and I would develop a piece. Could help me in the attack. I could also just play pawn to f5, try to hack open the king. But I like knight to f3 also because I may actually, in some variations later on in the game, threaten to come here. Oops, I am sorry. Come here to g5 with a check and pawn takes, opening up the rook. In some variations later on, that could become significant. Now I think my plan is something like playing queen to d2, lining up with this dark squared bishop, pointing at h6, making my plan of playing pawn to f4, this pawn here, stronger. Okay, they keep attacking, but we are still defending the pawn. So playing pawn here after queen d2 will open up an attack against this, potentially. With this knight move, are we going to push the pawn, or are we not going to push the pawn? So let's say I play queen d2, pawn takes pawn, bishop takes, knight takes, bishop takes, queen takes. I mean, if they have to give up their dark squared bishop, I'm probably pretty happy. Pawn takes. Do I play knight takes or do I play bishop takes? I think I play bishop takes. So let's say pawn takes, bishop takes, knight takes, and then they don't play bishop takes, they play something else. What about the immediate f5 here? Pawn to f5. It looks so fun. But we are giving them, of course, some squares here in the center. I think I will go queen d2, trying to get castled to just complete the development, 100%, and just go for a ferocious attack. in a very calm way, of course, because this is a ChessUp. Chess. So this is a very unique chess game. I have no idea what the evaluation is here at all, to be very, very honest with you. While my opponent is thinking, by the way, I'll do a little block here. So it's not going to be a loud mid-roll ad for Coca-Cola. No, no, no. But it's a block for the ASMR Chess Global Championship, or the Middens Memorial. We are also considering calling it, and we are considering calling the tournament the ASMR Chess Patron Tournament 2024. Because 1 week from now, this coming Monday, there is the last date for sign up, where you can, if you are a patron of ASMR Chess, sign up for a tournament between the patrons. It's going to be a lot of fun. I will cover, games from each round on the channel, and the winner gets ChessUp too, if you win. So if that's something that's interesting to you, head over to patreon.com/ASMRchess. And now we have to figure out what we are doing here. Do we play bishop takes or knight takes? I think maybe I like knight takes a bit better now, because I feel maybe the bishop will be instrumental in trying to get to the Black Majesty. If they do some version of these trades where they will not give up this bishop, if I do give up my bishop, it could maybe be pretty hard to get in there. Also, when I do play knight takes, first this bishop is now defending here. Okay, they do play knight takes, so we play bishop takes. And if bishop takes bishop, I'm probably pretty happy. And now probably they're going to play pawn to e5, a move that I severely underestimated, I'm afraid. And I think they can untangle here, which is only fair because I was playing sort of meme chess with these 6 pawns. I just could not resist. Could you have been able to resist putting those 6 pawns there? I mean, okay, but if they play bishop takes bishop, I'm super happy. I don't think they will do that. I think they will play this pawn here, with an attack on the bishop. I don't want to capture it, I think. So I will probably have to drop the bishop back. And they now have then squares here for their knight. They can consider capturing here. Bishop takes, knight, c5. They're getting a bunch of counter. They do play bishop takes. Okay, very happy about that, I think. Because that bishop is very important defender of their king, I feel. And now I'm thinking they will play e4, e5, but they don't. They play knight c5, which I don't feel I am overly concerned about. I feel that this is the time to try to strike with f5. I'm not sure exactly what f5 is supposed to be threatening, and it is giving up this very nice square. Let's say I can play both f5 and g5. Or let's say I can play h5 right now. or let's say I castle. There's a lot of things I could do in this position. Let's say I play h5. Probably they want to play pawn to g5. So h5, g5. Pawn takes. And I'm not getting in. f5. Yeah, I think my problem here is that there is actually no plan of attack against the king. I will castle because it feels a little safer, and also if I manage to, open up these pawns here somehow, some way, I should be able to use these two rooks and attack against the king. Okay. So now I have a feeling I do know the eval of this position, which is probably not in my favor, but I mean I do have a lot of pieces near the king. f5, this pawn here, knight d5. Or maybe e5, pawn to e5. Because that pawn is pinned, I think. So pawn to e5, they can't capture because I capture the queen, just winning. And if they move the queen, I think I'll just capture the pawn, so maybe I'm winning a pawn. Are we trying that? I think we are trying that, I think. Bishop b7. We may play rook h2, we may play rook g1, rook h g1. Not sure. We may play pawn takes pawn, bishop takes rook, pawn takes here, because that threatens to queen. Isn't that really good? Pawn takes pawn, bishop takes rook, pawn takes pawn, queen takes queen. Then I could make a knight. So the question is, when they put the board together, have they made a way, or do I have auto queen on? I think I have auto queen on chess.com, and I don't think I can just easily change that in this little touch screen here, because I wanted to make a knight so it would be check. So pawn takes rook, pawn takes pawn, bishop takes rook, pawn takes pawn, queen takes queen, pawn takes rook, check, because I'm making a knight and then recapturing. So let's say I can't do that. So let's pawn takes pawn, bishop takes rook, pawn takes pawn, queen takes queen. But maybe I'm just making a queen, and maybe that's fine. And then takes, or they take here with check. This is super complicated. This is super duper complicated. I'm pretty sure if I didn't have auto queen on, I think I would be. I think the variation works, but because I'm forced to make a queen, I'm not sure it works. Pawn takes pawn, bishop takes rook, pawn takes pawn, queen takes queen, rook takes queen, rook moves, and there's nothing. Pawn takes pawn, bishop takes rook, pawn takes pawn, queen takes queen, pawn takes rook and becomes a queen. Queen takes rook here. I think I will just move the rook actually. I think we play rook g1. Because if we do see pawn takes pawn here, which we do, I can play queen takes pawn with a discovered attack against their queen. And again, I have no idea what's going on. My queen is really, really strong, but could also be subject to attacks. You can also see I'm quite low on time. I do get 10 seconds added for each move, but I also have to move my opponent's pieces, which they do not have to do. So what are they playing here? I am attacking the e7 pawn. I am attacking the e7 pawn. It does not look like they have. Okay, so they do defend that. Now I think we will try f5. It's a very quick decision, I know, but I feel we have to get the attack going. And maybe a move like knight d5, this knight coming here. Could be very nice, maybe. Maybe that is what I should have played, but of course, ruminating on past mistakes does not help us in the game. That is something we do when we analyze the game afterwards. It's one of the things that where chess mirrors life. You know, you're doing something and in the moment you make a mistake. There's no reason to ruminate on that mistake while you are doing the thing. However, it can of course be extremely beneficial to later evaluate the whole process and find out where you can improve. So our opponent is way up on time, but I still think we have interesting dynamic position, and I don't think it is completely clear that black is necessarily worse, but it does not seem clear that white is worse. Of course, you give this position to one of the super grandmasters and they'll look at it for like half a second and they'll spot, you know, what the position, the truth of the position, what it's all really about, and they'll say, oh, this is winning for black, or this winning for white, or whatever. Okay, so rook d8. I'm thinking we are capturing that and then playing the other rook. Right? Or are we playing knight? No, I think we play rook takes rook, queen takes rook, and rook d1 with an attack on the queen. And if we are a little lucky, the queen has to go back, and now knight d5 should be very good now. I don't know if bishop takes knight is forced, but they do play it, And we play, I don't think we play pawn takes, we play rook takes. I'm pretty sure that rook takes is the way to go. And now we would very much like to activate our bishop somehow. If we could get it on this diagonal pointing towards the king, we would of course be super happy. I think I may be threatening pawn to f6. Maybe they just take that, actually. So maybe that's not a threat at all. Pawn to g5 is an option. They play f6 themselves. So I'm thinking queen c7 with an attack on a7. Maybe this does something. Does pin this pawn to the king. If this knight ever gets like a good check-in, that's going to be a big problem. So this knight is their good piece. What about pawn to h5? Is that a move? Pawn to h5? Pawn takes protected by the bishop, then the bishop is doing something. But does not seem to help us in terms of actually getting... Okay, they played this, which I thought was good for me because I thought pawn takes pawn. So they played g5 and they play, and I thought that I could get in with this check and get somewhere. Is that not the case? Is that not the case? Queen check, queen h2 check, king moves. Or how about b4? Knight goes maybe here. And then rook d7. Let's try that. This is beyond risky now. Also, like the queen is maybe coming into the game. But knight a6 is trouble, I think. Knight a6, queen a takes a7, knight takes b4. With a threatening here. Maybe I just defend that. King, or the knight goes here. I'm much less afraid of that, I think. So at least my plan was this. And now I have very strong battery on the 7th. And they play this, so I'm thinking I can play now this. Maybe the check is also very good. King moves, queen comes in, but my plan is to put the bishop on c4. Very continues to be a complicated and fascinating game. Okay, pawn takes pawn. So I'm thinking probably we'd play pawn takes pawn. And then the plan is bishop c4. And I think this knight may be stranded a little bit now. And the queen h6 check, is it doing something? King moves to g8. I think actually his position is very good now. I think maybe this position is quite good now. They play knight takes. So I of course have to get the rook out of here with a tempo against the queen. And now it's super fascinating, because I think I may just capture the knight. The queen cannot go anywhere to protect the knight, I don't think. The knight has no checks. My bishop doing work, my pawn doing work here. No checks towards the king. I'm sorry if there was a little jump in time there. It's just because there were a noise that I edited out. So we may have lost 10 seconds of the game there, but no moves were lost if I did end up cutting that out. Queen a4. I should check out if queen h2 is just winning on the spot, because I think it is. Because like the geometrical, like it's the right angled triangle, right? So queen h2. Oh wow, okay. Everything okay, wow, what a move. Wow, okay. So I would have had checkmate with the rook coordinating with the queen, but they played this move, which is like an amazing resource in the position. Because I don't have queen h2 anymore. And if queen takes knight, queen takes rook, and I think I'm toast. So I think I have to play. There's still no checks. So I think queen c8. Queen c8. I don't have a lot of time now. Only 1 minute left here. But queen to c8, an idea of going rook h8 check, queen g8 mate. So are they coming up with more unexpected moves here? I think like queen goes to a4. I think that's just mate. Rook h8, queen g8 mate. Pretty sure that works. And if they can't get out with the queen, and they have no checks, I think we may be winning here. In fact, I should be probably much more confident about this position. It's just the whole game has been so wild. Like, this is actually the favorite game I've played in a while. And yeah, I don't know. I just love playing on physical board, really. It's just, it adds an element of beauty to chess, or it shows the beauty of chess. Because chess in itself, the game is very beautiful. And as much as I like playing online, like normally on chess sites, the one thing it isn't is beautiful. It doesn't do the game the same kind of justice. And I'm not slandering playing online, of course. I've played thousands and thousands, probably tens of thousands of games on my computer, but yeah, it's just nothing just beats like the aesthetic of chess. I think we are winning, but I mean, what a game. What could they possibly play? They have to move the queen or lose the queen. Even something like protecting the queen with the rook, I still capture the queen, then rook takes rook, queen takes rook, and I'm still winning. I'm still actually coming in here. And have they resigned? Are they running out their clock? Or have they maybe a problem with their connection? I do not know. But what I do know is that I love chess. And I love relaxing and having a good time with this beautiful game. And I hope that you are also supremely, supremely relaxed. And if you are glued to the screen, they play queen here, and I believe that this is going to be checkmate in 2, right? This is checkmate in 2, rook h8 check, king move somewhere, queen g8 mate, right? So rook check, king goes here, and queen here is checkmate, and we even get the very nice animation and a little thing here that says you won, and suggests maybe we should play a new game. And I think we should play a new game. What do you think? I'll do just a little bit of stretching my back, and then I'll press play a new game. Okay, legs have been stretched. We put the pieces back up, and then we will play one more game of chess. One more rapid game, so we have time to come up with crazy ideas, like ditching chess for playing Connect 6 instead. That was so funny. That is the favorite game I have played in a long time. I don't think not only am I not sure that I have ever connected 6 pawns like that, myself, I'm not even sure I have ever seen it in any game. Okay, we will say we want to play a new game. 15 plus 10. This time we have the black pieces. Our opponent plays pawn to d4, and I will play knight to f6. I'm not going to turn the board around. They play knight c6. So it's kind of Jubava, London setup they are probably going for. Something like that. I guess we play d4. They are okay. Now this is different. e4, interesting gambit. Is that like the alien gambit or something that I'm not aware of because I don't follow all the chess memes as closely as I maybe should? They say the only way to refute a gambit is to accept it. So I think I'll take that pawn. I'll play pawn takes pawn. We're playing against somebody called, I have to read this upside down. They are called X/physics. And they are rated 1790. So they probably know what they are doing. What they're doing right now is they're attacking our knight. Their plan is probably just capture our knight and then regain their own pawn. What happens if I play like c5 or knight c6? Let's say I play knight c6. Bishop takes, knight, pawn takes, bishop. Maybe how about I just defend the pawn with something like bishop here to f5? I mean, we're trying to refute the gambits. So, not sure actually what's, like, they can damage my pawn structure by playing bishop takes knight, and I'm not even sure I'm going to capture with the g pawn. Maybe I'll capture with the e pawn because I already have an e pawn, another e pawn, and it will also maybe open up this bishop to come out maybe to b4, which I feels like that could be relevant. Okay, they play pawn to f3. So is their point that if I play pawn takes pawn, they play queen takes with an attack on b7? Or are they just playing knight takes? I mean, what is this whole thing they're doing? Or I could play pawn to e3. That could be kind of funny. That could be kind of funny, just playing pawn to e3, saying, okay. I think actually that's what I'm going to do. I think that's kind of funny. Pawn to e3. They play bishop takes pawn. And they have a weird pawn structure, and I can maybe start attacking their d4 pawn. Or do I play like knight c6? Knight to c6 here with an attack on their pawn. Pawn takes pawn, and I take... No, then the knight c6. Bishop takes knight. Pawn, the e-pawn takes the bishop. Pawn takes here would be threatening the bishop. So probably I'm a tempo short if I were to do something there. Also just pawn takes pawn. I think I will play pawn takes pawn. So pawn takes pawn here may not be the correct tactical solution. They do play queen takes with this attack on b7. And am I then playing knight c6 now? Or am I playing bishop back to defend c7? Or am I playing queen c8 to defend both b7 and f5? That looks quite logical, I would say. I could also play bishop takes c2, queen takes b7, knight. That looks a little risky. That's not the kind of stuff we really want to do, is it? No, I don't think so. So I think queen c8. I think queen c8. We will try this. Defending both things. And we are a healthy pawn up, or at least we are a pawn up. I'm not sure if it is healthy, but it feels kind of healthy. Like if I could get castled, let's say. They castle, okay. So isn't bishop g4 really good now? I feel bishop g4 is really good. Because I am not sure where they want to go with their queen, where I will not have time to capture the rook on d1, winning what we call the exchange. So did we just refute their gambit, or what is going on here? I don't think they have anything like bishop b5 check. I think c6 takes care of it. It's very well defended. c6. They have to move their queen somewhere, I think, and so where would they move the queen? They're playing extremely aggressively. Extremely aggressive player. So they're probably looking for some way to make a very active queen move. But I can't see that I have any serious weaknesses that they can really attack except this diagonal towards my king. Okay, they play queen g3. So I think what that is about is something like bishop takes rook, bishop takes knight, with some ideas, or like bishop takes rook, knight b5. But I think I'm still kind of happy there. So I will play bishop takes rook. And if they play king takes bishop, we should have like a serious advantage. They play bishop takes here. Bishop takes knight. So we are probably capturing that and not trying to save our own bishop, or are we? Or are we? There's so many moves here, like we could maybe play queen g4. Probably not though. I think we are just capturing this bishop, and I think we are capturing like this. And now it's interesting. Or is it interesting? Because they are actually not very well developed. And they're down. They're down. We have rook for, we have bishop for knight. That's kind of equal. And then we have 2 pawns. They have 1, and we also have the rook. So we like 3 points up in material. Oh, that's not right. What am I talking about? Like we're 6 points up in material, and we will be 3 points up when they capture the bishop. And they're thinking if they can make something work. So I think against knight d5 we play bishop d6. Probably that's just winning. Against knight c5 b5, we are not playing that, I don't think. I think we're just playing knight a6, protecting it. Okay, they do play this. So why is it that I am not just snap playing bishop d6? Why isn't bishop d6 just immediately winning? Why is that? Why is that? It gets me closer to castling. It attacks their queen. It protects the c7 pawn, which they are attacking, and they are not really attacking anything else, are they? Or is it queen e3 or queen e1 they are really trying for there? I guess that is what they are thinking. So like queen e3, like bishop d6, queen e3 check. But I block with the queen. Worst case scenario, I'll go to f8 with my king. Still being up a bunch. I think this here, boom. And then they throw the check, and I block with my own queen. And I think that's game. So I think bishop d6, some kind of queen check, queen e1, queen e3, and then I play queen d6. And I think that is the game. So what else kind of funny business could they have going on? What could they have going on? Some bishop check. I'm still not convinced that is really doing that much. Okay, they do play the bishop check. Okay, so I'm not playing pawn to c6, of course, because that hangs the bishop. Maybe there are some like problems associated with that. But knight c6 though, this knight coming to c6, or a d7 even maybe, but c6 seems better somehow. And if bishop takes knight, pawn takes, it's attacking their knight. My pawn structure is a little funny, but so knight here, queen check, blocks with my own queen. Takes, check, takes. They're still not breaking through, so I think knight c6. I think this is good. And I mean, if they are not at any point going to capture this bishop, I'm up 6 points of material. And if they are capturing the bishop, okay, they come in here and capture. All right. So for some reason I missed that, which may be a huge problem. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Now we are... How was I missing that all the time? That they could play queen takes g7. Well, it doesn't matter why I missed it. We will find out in analysis later on. Is there... So the really big problem is that they are threatening knight takes f6 check now, since that is no longer defended. So let's say I play rook f8, knight takes with check, and the king moves, and it's trouble. Maybe I can like do something crazy, be crazy right back and sacrifice both rooks. That would be kind of funny. So I think actually that may be an option. Maybe. I think that maybe, just maybe, I can play queen f5. That does threaten checkmate. So let's say queen takes rook, king moves somewhere here. Now their queen is attacked, so if they capture the other rook, that's going to be checkmate. And I kind of feel like I want to play that move. Let's say they do that. Let's say they do something else. They drop their own bishop back with an attack on my queen. Maybe I throw a check with my bishop. I think this is a little bit too fun to not try out. And I only have 3 minutes, so I can't calculate everything. But I think we are going to play this move here, which at the very least is kind of funny. at the very least. Like, because they have been playing all these crazy moves, like, okay, let's also play some crazy moves. I'm thinking knight takes f6 check, king e7. So knight takes king e7 here. I don't know what's going on there. And if bishop d3, I'm thinking about bishop f7 check. If I could get to e1, then everything is very nice. But the bishop is covering e1. If they play king takes bishop now, I just castle, I think. And then it's a super messy game and I have no idea what's going on, but that's a game there. And okay. So this game also turned out very interesting because I blundered. Then it had to become interesting. I think I actually blundered that pawn in a couple moves in a row. But you know, that's one of the advantages you get when you play very unorthodox, like our opponent X/physics here, is that you know, I can't rely that much on my like normal pattern recognition, because I try to reinvent the wheel at the board, and then something very simple I might miss trying to understand the more complicated things, which is again one of the things that is true in chess and in life. I don't think it is super relevant in the position, but the queen is attacking the knight here as well. I mean, this position is nuts. I think bishop d3 is... That's the big move. I wanted to play bishop f5, but maybe they just move their king. And if they do just move their king, I mean, this is crazy. Bishop d3 must be the move that they want to play. Let's say bishop d3. Let's say I play queen takes knight. And queen takes rook, king moves, queen takes rook. In that position, I may be threatening like queen takes g2, maybe. I have no clue what's going on. Okay, they capture the rook. Okay, let's see. So my idea was to move the king. So my idea was to go to d7, and they can't play queen takes rook because that's mate. So they will play knight takes f6, which is check again, and I attack the knight once more. Yeah, okay, so king goes here. And now if they play bishop d3, I play queen takes bishop, pawn takes bishop, rook takes queen, king takes bishop, and I think material is equal there, maybe. They're crazy. Okay, they do play knight takes. So the king has to move, but where? So I wanted to move somewhere where it cannot, there are no checks available. And that is, of course, a problem. Or maybe it's not. I think I go here with the king to avoid, so they have knight checks, but I think I can survive the knight checks. I think. So, okay, they do play this. So I was thinking queen takes bishop. Does it make any sense to play bishop check, king moves? I don't think that does anything. So I think queen takes bishop. Or maybe then knight check is good for them. Or is it getting kind of low on time here? Queen takes knight, queen takes rook, knight takes here. I'll play this. Queen takes here. We'll have a bit of fun. So I'm threatening mate. So I think pawn takes queen is forced. That was the idea, at least. That would be forced. Or knight goes somewhere with a check. Yeah, it goes here with a check, and I have to not blunder my queen, so I cannot go forwards. So here, I think they could maybe repeat the position with knight check. That would be like a crazy end to that game. What is this game? This game is completely nuts. I mean, what is this game? What is this game? Pawn takes queen, rook takes queen, and material is just equal. Oh, no. They capture my bishop at the end of that. The bishop is not immune. And there is no kind of legals made. No, not legal. What is that? Bodens made. Because I have no access to these checks. And I cannot cover b1. So the whole thing was wrong. Pawn takes queen, rook takes queen, king takes bishop. No, I'm not a piece down. I'm so confused. I'm not a piece down in that position because I'm a piece up now. Whoever you are, x/physics, you managed to confuse me more than I have ever been confused before. It is equal. I mean, holy moly. And they are thinking a long time about this. This is actually like a really fun game of chess as well. The first game was amazing, and I even won that one. And now this one, that was made really interesting by, okay, they do play this check. So I think king here, right? King e7, king here. Wait a minute. King e7. Then there are no checks. And they don't have their bishop anymore. So king e7. What? Oh, that's check. Oh, that's the check. That's the check. Okay, we go back again. We're losing on time. They can capture the knight now. Oh my god. I got so confused. But then I can capture their knight. Pawn takes queen, rook takes queen, pawn takes pawn. Oh, and they can play pawn takes b7. But I can still play king takes knight. Okay, they do play this. So there's nothing to talk about. We play this. We also don't have a lot of time. So they take here. I think I'm saving this one like so. Now this beautiful game will probably be ruined by the fact that that I have no time at all. But we are even on. Okay, they go back here. We try to activate. They have these doubled pawns. Actually, they are a pawn up. But those are like these weird doubled pawns. And I'm thinking about playing something like pawn to f5. Okay, they capture here. Let's capture here. Because it threatens their pawn. And our king is much better. We have 43 seconds. And what looks like a pretty promising end game, maybe. Because our development is so much better. And their pawns in the center are weak. They played this, so I played king takes. And knight here. And I'm thinking I'm just capturing that. And then they play this, and I activate the rook with a check. And then I will see if, okay, they go here, I go here. I'll see if I can tie them down a little bit. I think my rook should be quite a bit better than their rook. They play rook f1, I play rook e2 to just cover it. Right here. Okay, now they get very much in the game with this check, which I did not foresee. But now I have gained some time back. And we're equal on pawn. It's a rook in game. But now my rook is in jail a little bit because it's looking after this pawn, the f7 pawn. And I feel we should activate our pawns. Stop rook d4. And now they are getting low on time as well. Like, I had a blast playing this game, no matter what the result is going to be. What are they playing here? They played this check. I'm offering a rook trade, but that's a huge blunder. Oh my god, I just lost the game there. I just lost the game there because they capture here, and now everything is completely terrible. Okay, yeah. And they even capture the pawn here. Oh my god. So that's a little bit of a sad end to an otherwise beautiful game, unless I can checkmate them. b5, rook takes a7, b4 check, but they can get out on a4. But I think I'll just stay in this game just for a short while more. Rook takes a7, rook takes h2. Okay, this check. King comes back, I guess. Okay, they play a3. I don't think there is any real hope in this position. This one, though. b4 check, takes. b4 check isn't, wait a minute. Takes. takes. And isn't that checkmate? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This was what? 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 What a game! What a game! Well, I am fairly sure the first game did not contain like major blunders. I think like probably like strong players, the stockfish or something will like say, okay, this was wrong, this was wrong. But this one contained a bunch of blunders, but it was a fighting awesome game, and it ended with this checkmate, which I have never seen before either. I got this idea, or like there could be some checkmate here because the king was a little exposed, and they were probably so sure that the game was completely winning that they were only thinking about endgame technique. They were not thinking about checkmate patterns, because like usually we in the endgame we play to promote the pawns, not to checkmate. But wow. And I mean, that is the video, and I hope that you had a great time. I sure had an amazing time. Thank you very much for watching. Consider patreon.com/ASMRchess if you want to join the Middens Memorial or the ASMR Chess Global Championship, or wherever we called it, or if you just want to support the channel and get more of these videos. And thanks for watching. Thank you so much.